sure this wee little dude is connected here. I think it is. It says disconnected. Connect.
Well, go ahead and connect then. Okay, it says live. That should be good. That should be good.
Paisley has joined up. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday live. Welcome. You see our QOD up here. Question of the day is Pepsi or Coke? And by Coke, we mean Coca-Cola. Just to clarify, in case that needs to happen. Quack in 1992, good to see you here. I'm already messing buttons up on here. That's great. Self-aware Mama Bear, thank you so much for sharing the live. That means a ton to us. Steffi music covers, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate that. Mr. Miles says Pepsi. Pepsi? I need to unlock the panel there. Pepsi. Frankie J's mama, the party is here. Adventures with Jack over in New Zealand Thursday morning for you there. Nice. Skylar from West Virginia. Holly, thank you so much. Chelsea, Ferry, thank you guys so much for sending those gifts through. We are lightning bolt focused right now. We have a goal of 1,500 of them, and that is to get Tony Spark over here. And if you saw today's story promoting the live, you know Tony Spark is now Tony Dark. He's very tanned right now. He made a face like, Mel Bell, good to see you. Donna, what are you looking for help with? Shireen, Coke all the way. Kelly Cat says Coke as well. Laura, good morning, fam. Mr. Miles says Pepsi. Carrie says Coke. Yamura says Coca-Cola. Cabell says Coke as well. We've got a pretty, I don't know, right now it's looking like Coke's got the edge. It's got the edge. Michelle Heather, good morning to you. Gemma says, hey. Self-aware Mama Bear, thank you again for sharing the stream. Hey, Dusty and friends, good to see you. Cherry Pepsi specifically, Quack says. Roz in Scotland, good to see you here. Ferry, thank you so much for sending those lightning bolts through. Michelle Heather, you as well. Artina Gilbert, Amanda Burns, Weedy, Vanessa, Chelsea, Nikki, Hazel Love, Laura, Vanessa as well. Thank you guys so much for sending those through. Much appreciated. Mel Bell, thank you for sending that initial 50 through. Greatly appreciate that. Hazel Love says Coca-Cola. Angie, depends on the source. Good point. Like, is it a fountain? Is it a bottle? It does make a difference. User 841, lots of numbers, says Mango Pepsi. Seen it, never tried it. Seen it, never tried it. Laura, thank you so much for sharing the live. Appreciate that. Oliver Mama says Pepsi. Pepsi. I could drink both. I grew up in a Coca-Cola household, but if I'm forced with an A-B choice now, I'd probably choose Pepsi. Vanessa resubbing to say a member of the storm. Glad to have you still here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Just another photographer says Pepsi, but I usually only drink it mixed with Malibu. There you go. There you go. Scrub Forever says Coke. Alexis, you're a Dr. Pepper fan. A lot of people are like that, especially in Texas. A lot of Dr. Pepper lovers. Redneck Wife 2011, are you in Texas as well? Or from Texas? Mountain Dew on Pole for 03. Oh, Paisley, Navy says hi. Oh, you're hanging out with Navy. Awesome. Cousin Paisley is up in the house here. Lightning bolts for Paisley. Also, Candy Thunder is here. We have a few new mods up in the house today. You'll see those popping up here as well. Tony Spark will be in here as well. Miles will be up in here as well. Lightning bolts for everybody, the whole team that makes this whole world turn. It is a very important and big deal. We have a goal today of 600,000 likes on the stream. We've nailed 500. We accomplished 500. Yeah, we've done 500. We can do this. We can do 600. Just make sure you tap the stream to make sure that you like it and also share it. That will help us get there as well. Our first goal is the 1.5K lightning bolts. We're already 540 into that, so that's amazing. Vanessa resubbing to stay a member of the storm. Thank you so much. You guys crushed all of our goals last week. All of them. And Tony Spark is the maestro of the goals and rewards, so he's always trying to get a bit creative with it, yeah? And last time you guys nailed it. We'll see if we can do that again. We will see. We did put our overall likes bar back up top here to help us keep track of everything. Another note here. I've got my special Bluey cup today from Magical Mama's Handmade. She is on Facebook and Insta. Be sure to check her out. In my Magical Mama's Handmade Bluey cup today, I have my Jock coffee. Been hitting that for a couple of hours. You can use code Dusty20 to get 20% off of Jock coffee, just as a reminder. The Dusty Thunder podcast with Candy Thunder Part 1 is already out. Part 2 is in edit right now, and we hope to have it wrapped up and to be ready to release this coming Sunday. And Thunder and Spark Episode 2 refilms this Friday. Make sure that you're following at Candy Thunder 1 and at Tony Spark _ on TikTok. And there's also a Thunder and Spark Instagram. Check that out too. Sub goal today is 425. We've been hovering right around 400. We've broken it. We dipped back down a little bit. We've got a goal of 425 there today. We are doing a sub only live after this live today. Don't forget to resub, check your auto renewal, and make sure that you get to keep the perks like the Facebook group, the VIP Facebook group. And one more thing. We unveiled this last week. This week, we're just sexing it up a little bit. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Wheel of Thunder! Wheel of Thunder is happening. The Wheel of Thunder. What?
Oh my god. The graphic.
The graphic.
I'm currently reporting the live.
We had no idea that was there.
The Wheel of Thunder is happening again today, and here's how it works. The top 10 gifters and 4 random new subs at the end will go on the wheel. We will spin the wheel during the VIP live, and if you're one of the winners, if you're domestic in the U.S., you will get all 3 sticker bundles, which are these. We will send these to you. If you are not in the U.S., we will give you a discount code to use in the swag store. So that is going to happen at the end of the live today, and you will see that graphic come up many more times. So just in case you wanted to see it one more time. Wheel of Thunder!
Dude.
It's amazing. Is it not amazing?
Did you not tell them that we had no idea that those were there?
What? Okay, Candy Thunder wants me to tell you that she and Tony Spark had no idea that the images were there. But why? Why is that a bad thing? They look great. They look fantastic. They look fantastic.
Oh my god.
This is yours. Take it.
The picture's already out there. Why is this a big deal?
I'm reporting the live.
Why? Tony Spark is threatening to report the live.
I'm a boss.
No way. Fairy Tale over 1200. Thank you so much for subbing and becoming a member of the Storm. Love us. Subscribe for the first time as well and became a member of the Storm. There's all kinds of ruckus going on behind me here. I think they're attempting a coup. So if I just disappear off camera and it's one of them pops up.
Dusty Thunder TikTok.
The picture's already out there. Why is this a big deal?
I don't know, because people could share emojis of our face.
Yeah. See oh yeah. By the way, custom emotes are there with all 3 of those new images that are on there. Maybe that's what they're mad at me about. I'm not sure. Anyway, Jesse, our creative director here, made these super emoji images, and they are amazing. I wasn't sure that they were going to be approved by TikTok in time for us to use today, but apparently they are. So don't let them fool you. They enjoy it. They enjoy it. Myra, it's good to see you here. Frankie J's mama. This is great, right? I agree. Allison joined to become a member of the Storm for the first time. Thank you so much for joining up with us today. Michelle Heather, thank you so much for throwing so many freaking lightning bolts this way. Stephanie Vandermellen, you as well. Rebecca, you as well. Crystal Museum Girl, love us. Chelsea Stevens, thank you so much. Buns, My Story. Karina as well. Thank you guys so much. We are already achieved on the lightning bolt goal here. So let me set up the next one real quick. Here, we got to get back to our confetti while I set up the next one. You guys are just too good at this. Let me give some quick thanks real quick. Willow Queen, Michelle Heather, Mama Bear, Fairies Dust, Fly on the Wall, Lori Bill, Annie Butcher, and a Dawn, Hazel Love, Shadow 59414, Candy Thunder, Baseball, Miss Mixie, Chelsea Stevens, Dawn Banks, Miles Griff, Crystal Museum Girl, Celestial Restricted, Sweet Evil, Gen X Brat, and Joycey. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that and helping us get there. Let me set up the next one real quick. I haven't even looked at what it is. I guess I better figure that out, huh? Got that. Can't tell you what it is till we set it. Got it. And we have the ability to unlock a cake story. We're going for cake slices. 650 of them. It will unlock a cake story. Let me go ahead and get rid of my QOD here. There we go. Tony Spark, come on over. I think you should come over and talk about your new super emoji.
Ooh, or talk about where you're going next week.
There you go. Talk about where you're going next weekend.
I just want to clarify that Candy and I did not know or consent to our faces being used. But, yeah. How's everybody doing? Thanks for the lightning bolts. But you don't want it to be a surprise in the podcast?
I mean,
Candy?
People are still going to see it. Not everybody's here.
Oh my gosh, all right. It's all in the chat. It's everywhere. Oh no. No, okay. Also, I don't know why I have glasses on in this. I don't even wear glasses. So this is, yeah, I don't.
I decided to keep bubbles. It was out of
Yeah.
I actually love
It's like the Robin mask. It looks
I love
nice.
Tony's.
So good. Yeah.
I love Tony's the best.
Yeah.
Because I'm not here so
You should, do you see the chat? All it is these emojis.
Okay.
Like that's all it is.
Do you want to talk about where you're going next weekend?
You don't want it to be in the pod, like they got to watch the podcast?
Not everybody's here. Go for it.
Yeah, so if those of you have been following along probably in our different TikTok videos and podcasts, you've known about the struggle that I have had of securing a ticket to Taylor Swift while some people had tickets the entire time. And you know how like sometimes like you're getting ready to do something and then you get the rug pulled out and it's a disappointment and it didn't happen, but that's okay. So I thought it was all over. Well, then the wonderful Thunders surprised me and I get to go see Taylor Swift now next weekend. So yeah, you can see that full reaction in the Candy Thunder podcast part 2 that comes out Sunday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a very, the reaction's pretty funny. Yes, Zoe, I am going. I'm sure there'll be a lot of videos of Candy and I at the concert. So yeah, it'll be good. Excited. Ordered my outfit already. Yeah. Did I tan for Taylor? No,
Yes.
no, that is not what happened. So we had a lake day as an office last Thursday. And I may have taken that lake day and turned it into a lake 4 days for myself. So I spent a lot of time in the sun. And yeah, I'm very, very, very tan from it. More like burned and peeling and miserable. But
Your Kramer turkey. Like that.
I know these are all going so fast.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about the loves the Facebook group. If you just subscribed, Dusty will send you a link after this to join the Facebook group.
Yarp.
Yeah. So I've missed a whole bunch of comments. I'm sorry. I was taking some notes that I was given to look at the camera more. So I'm trying not to look at the chat. So yeah.
Those notes.
My mom.
Oh, jeez.
My mom said that you were Dusty was amazing.
Yeah.
Tony and
I'm just taking the notes from Grandma Thunder.
Does she have any notes for me?
No, but I was told I need to look at the camera more. So here I am, and I've missed the chat. All right.
We'll get into
It's
story
back to him
time.
now. It's probably about time for a cake story. I don't know
We're getting
where
close.
at.
221 to 650.
Yeah.
We're at 221 of 6. Thank you so much, Tony.
Great cake stories.
He says there are great cake stories today. Lightning bolts for Tony Spark. Also, Tony Spark emojis for Tony Spoke emotes. Tony Spoke emotes. Tony Spark emotes. Hey, Karina says, what era are you dressing as?
Lover.
Lover.
We're both Candy and I are both.
Candy Thunder as well. In case you're wondering, I'm sure you've seen some videos of the groups of dads outside the arenas doing the dad stance while waiting on their families to get out of the concert. That's going to be me. And you can bet your ass I'm going to be filming content while I'm out there of me and all the other dads doing the dad stance while the concert is going on. So, yeah, it's not going to stop me from making quality content. It'll be like the toddler laundry 2.0. It's going to be a good time. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dive into our first story. We are halfway there on our cake story goal here, but we are going to go ahead and dive in right now. This is story 1 from the AITA subreddit. I guess I should start recording here. All right, here is an AITA story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for not giving 24 hours notice to my daughter's roommates before dropping something off? It's a bit vague. I'm new to Reddit, but my husband advised that I post here and is helping me write this. Tristan, resubbing to stay a member of the Storm for month 2. Heck yeah, glad to still have you here. Caught it out of the corner of my eye, sorry. I am a mother to a 20-year-old daughter. She is a junior in college and attends school in the same city that we live. My daughter and 2 of her friends live in a condominium that I own. Her friends pay below market rent while my daughter does not. The condo was inherited from my parents, and it was their intent that I would pass ownership of it to my daughter when she is mature enough to own her own place. My daughter, husband, and I are in agreement that she will take over ownership of the condo when she is out of school and financially independent. Earlier this week, my daughter mentioned that she had run out of some household supplies and would have to set aside time to go shopping before the end of the week. My daughter's schedule has been especially rough lately as she picked up extra shifts at her part-time job due to short staffing. Wanting to be helpful, I offered to pick up the supplies for her and drop them off at her place. She accepted. The next day, I picked up the supplies and took them to the condo. I knew my daughter was in class, so I knocked and, when no one answered, let myself in. The front door opens into the living room. When I entered, I found one of my daughter's roommates being intimate with a man on the living room couch. I was obviously mortified, so I left the supplies at the door and left right away. Hey, Candy, would you mind yelling that? I didn't say anything to my daughter about what happened because I didn't want to put her in an uncomfortable position, but I did let her know that I had dropped off the supplies. On Friday, I got an angry email from the roommate's parents. I'm not sure exactly what they were told, but their email lambasted me for invading their daughter's privacy. They said what I did was wrong because I'm their daughter's landlord and I entered the condo without giving 24 hours notice. They're threatening to take legal action if I do it again. I'm vaguely familiar with this requirement, but didn't think it was applicable here. Was I the asshole in this situation? I feel bad about what happened, but also don't feel like I was out of line. Edit, my daughter was aware that I was coming to drop off the supplies and asked that I leave them in the kitchen, which is adjacent to the living room. I'm not asking for judgment on whether I violated the law. I checked in with a friend who is a lawyer, and he thinks that because my daughter gave explicit permission to enter the home and drop off the supplies, I'm in the clear. I'm asking whether I was the asshole for doing so. Interesting. I was also going to say, if they don't have like a formal rental agreement that positions her as the landlord, then that's a non-argument. Also, she wasn't acting as the landlord in this position. She was acting as the mother. So I think that removes it from the landlord requirements as well. Update. I called and texted my daughter asking to discuss the situation. She can't speak to me right now because the roommates are fighting and she's mediating, but she is aware of the situation and sent me a quick explanation. My daughter had notified all of the roommates that I was coming over, but roommate 1 apparently forgot. The man she was with was roommate 2's boyfriend. Oh, shit. No wonder she's so upset about getting busted. She got busted. Okay. This story just got a whole lot more interesting, yeah? She freaked out and contacted her parents because she was scared I would spill the beans. I still don't know exactly what she told her parents, but I assume it wasn't the full story. I have never met roommate 2's boyfriend, so I didn't know it was him. Roommate 1 and roommate 2 are fighting now, and needless to say, roommate 1 will be moving out. I will be writing a more comprehensive formal lease for roommate 2. I will be writing a more comprehensive formal lease for roommate 2 for both my protection and hers, but in all honesty, roommate 2 is a wonderful person, and I do not anticipate that there will be any problems. Now it all makes sense, right? For a minute, it's like, what? Why would they be? Okay. They knew ahead of time, which immediately just erases any kind of issue at all. It had been pre-communicated. She forgot. Apparently because she was busy, a little preoccupied, a little distracted maybe. You know, I'm sure Staging a rendezvous with your roommate's boyfriend took a whole lot of time and effort, and there was just no room left to remember that your other roommate's mom was going to be dropping by, which would have been an important factor to consider while staging this rendezvous, wouldn't you think? Oopsie kitty. That's no bueno. Okay, let's take that out of the scenario here. If it wasn't her being sleazy with her other roommate's boyfriend, would OP be the asshole? I still don't think so. I still don't think she would be the asshole at all, because she was operating in the capacity as her daughter's mother, not as the landlord. Oopsie kitty. Yeah. Navy Thunder watches Super Kitty sometimes, so that just goes through there. Why wouldn't they yell at the door when she knocked? Angie asked. That's a damn good question. Maybe they didn't hear it. Maybe mom just knocked quietly. Well, I was going to say maybe they didn't hear it because they were being so noisy, but if they were being noisy, mom would have heard it. So I'm not sure about that. Maybe they just thought it was an Amazon delivery or something. Teresa, and on the couch in the common area. Yeah. And for a second I was thinking, okay, now if this is a condo, if this is a furnished condo that mom technically owns, and this is happening in the common area, is she going to take issue with that? Which she might, but she didn't. I mean, I think she handled it really freaking well. She just backed out and was like, oh shit, okay. She's like, housekeeping. Oh, I just leave. I come back. And then didn't say a word. Oh no, she did say a word to her daughter, right? Did she? Okay, I didn't say anything to my daughter about what happened because I didn't want to put her in an uncomfortable position. How could she have handled this any better? Like she did the roommate that she caught so many favors by keeping quiet about it, and still got flipped out on by the other roommate's parents. Hopefully the roommate that got busted, now that she's moving out because she obviously did something terrible, is coming clean to her parents so they don't think that you just barged in as a landlord and violated her privacy. She's bitching about her privacy being violated while she's out there violating other people's boyfriends. NTA. Jess, yeah, not long at all. Kristen, I agree. Mom behaved very well. Sammy baby rocking those new super emoji emotes. A couple of reminders here real quick. Yeah, Candy Thunder mentioning here as well. Please don't forget to share the live. We are at 17% of our overall likes goal for the live. We are at 613 of 650 for the cake slices, so we're probably going to unlock a cake story here any second, and that is definitely going to happen. We're there. Boom. Look at y'all unlocking cake stories up in here. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I see that happening. Kristen Museum Girl, M Summer Toms, Kez, thank you so much. There was one up here as well. Miss Helene, Our Wheel of Thunder winner from last week. Good to see you here. Amanda Burns sharing as well. Thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate that. Michelle, let me go ahead and give thanks on here real quick. Get our confetti going again. I even remembered to turn the QOD off on the confetti. Look at that. Willow Queen, Michelle Heather, Mama Bear, Annie Butcher, Revy Black, Miss Helene, Karina B. Martins, AK Mary, Fly on the Wall, Jazzy Bells, Tony Spark, Justina Josfadzi, Mama Silver, Candy Thunder, Joan Jordan, Valerie St. Camper, C. Sizzle, Vita's Living Loca, Mava Loves, Wild Wallflower, Krista Museum Girl, Kez, Shadow, and Baseball. Thank you guys so much for helping us get there. We appreciate that. And you have unlocked the cake story. Let me get the next one set up real quick. Ooh, it's an easy one to find. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Got an itch. Ooh. We are going to be unlocking a Candy Thunder appearance with the High Bear Candy Thunder appearance. We are going for 1,500 of them starting right now. Lots of Candy Thunder. She is in the house today. Still have an itch. It's driving me crazy. All right, we're going to go ahead and find our cake store here. Let's find it. Let's find it. There is... we have 3 cake stories. We have the potential for 3 cake stories today. Oh, my. All right, let me find it. Let me find our cake story. Keep those unlocked stories at the bottom here. My goodness, it's way down here. It's way down. All right, got it. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another AITA story for you, and it's a cake story. Hooray! Am I the astronaut for getting my wife a birthday cake even though she's dieting and then eating all of it myself? I-36 male got my wife a cake for her birthday, even though she's on a diet, and I need to know if that makes me an a-hole. We've always gotten each other birthday cakes every year for the last 3 years. We've always gotten each other birthday cakes every year for the 3 years we've been together. It has always kind of been a thing between us, but it was a thing that was never discussed or officially decided to be a thing, just something that we did. We have never had a lot of extra spending money, so instead of expensive gifts for birthdays, we've always just gotten a cake for the other person on their birthday and shared it together. Sarah Snyder, welcome to the store. Glad to have you. My wife just gave birth to our first child and has been working really hard to get her pre-baby body back. She's been watching what she eats, counting calories, and consistently exercising for about 2 months. Let me be clear that this is something that she is doing and wants to do, not something that I have pushed for her to do, although I do fully support her decision to be healthy and happy with her body, and I'm very proud of how hard she is working. Her birthday was last week, and she has been working so hard to get healthy, but I really enjoy our birthday cake tradition and did not want to skip it this year, even if she is on a diet. I also don't see the harm in her enjoying a single piece of cake on her birthday, especially if she has not touched unhealthy food in months. So I continued with our thing and got a very small cake for us to share on her birthday. She apparently expected something different because when I gave her the cake I got, she accused me of trying to sabotage her diet and not supporting her. I admit that I have not been participating in her diet myself, but I don't think that just because she is on a diet, I should have to be too. And I certainly have not been trying to sabotage her. What husband wouldn't want their wife to be in great shape? But I don't see how a birthday cake is considered sabotage or unsupportive. She insisted that even a single piece of cake would throw her off the rails and refused to eat any of it. She said that I should have recognized how hard she had been working and been more supportive of her by getting her something else or nothing at all. Here's the real kicker. Since she didn't want any cake, I sat down and ate the whole damn thing right then and there. Remember, it was a small cake. I thought that getting rid of it would be helpful so she didn't have to look at it or be tempted by it. But no, she was mad at me for eating it when she couldn't have any. Am I the asshole here? Gen X Brad, he could have asked, but she could have told him no. Good points. And we'll definitely address that. Oh, okay. Ashley says this is so much deeper than cake and probably has very little to do with the husband. It's entirely possible. Mel Bell says if she didn't communicate, then how are you supposed to know? Here's where I think it takes a turn, or it's a fork in the road. It's on both of them to communicate, because if hubby here knew that she was hardcore into this diet and wasn't touching any kind of dessert or sugary stuff for any kind of occasion, if it's been several months, then you probably know enough to be like, hey, I just want to confirm, are you okay with me getting a cake? It's also on wifey here to communicate a change, because if the tradition up to this point, if this is the first birthday that was going to be different, it's also on her to say, hey, just want to make sure you're not bringing that crap here. And you guys could be 100% right. Maybe it is a self-control issue. If she's mad about it being there and says that it will throw her off the rails, it probably is a self-control issue. She's just not allowing herself that option at all. And a lot of people have to do that when they're doing this kind of thing. They just have to just completely cut something out 100% and not allow themselves to enjoy it at all. That's her choice to do. How are you supposed to know that, though? except that it had been like this for a while, which means you had enough context that you probably should have asked because you knew there was a risk involved. We learned that up front. But she should have said something too, because it was going to be the first one that was different and should have communicated the change. So, lack of communication on both sides. Terry T, yes, you are absolutely right. Ashley Wagner says she needs to remember that a treat during the diet is actually good for the system. Agreed. Vanessa says, ASCON 1, he should have asked, but when he didn't, she should have said something. So you're saying both of them, ASCON 1? I don't think they're terrible people for this. This is just a failure to communicate. I think getting as mad at him as she did is garbage, but I think this is something that was entirely preventable for him. So let's first say this. Say first, everybody sucks here. He made a couple of wrong moves, not communicating ahead of time when he knew that things were different. I'm not going to say it was a brozo move, but it was a pretty easy one to avoid. And then to be like, oh, okay, you don't want to have the cake around. I'll just sit here and eat it all. There were definitely some different options to play with there. The first of which would be, don't eat it in front of her. She got mad because she saw you eating it. Why would you sit down and be like, oh, you can't have, okay, you're mad at me for having it, fine. Is this better? No. I think that was just asking for more trouble. Still asking for trouble. Let's take a look at the scale here and think for a second about where's hubby? Where would hubby fit in here? Should have done it differently would be ASCON 3, or is it a could have done it differently ASCON 4? There's an ASCON 2, definitely shouldn't have done that. I don't even know that he makes it that far. It was avoidable. It wasn't malicious, though. And I think there's malice that kind of tips the scale between 3 and 2. It wasn't malicious, so I don't think he's quite to a 2. Whereas malice 1 is malice when you're just a terrible person because you're doing something maliciously. We could have some unwitting brozos end up in 2 that don't have malice. They just stepped in it. So yeah, I guess that's possible. I kind of feel like this wasn't malicious at all. He was trying to keep a tradition alive, not for himself, but to do it for her too. He should have communicated through it though. Should being the key word there. And I feel like that puts him in a 3. So if he's in a 3, where would she be? Because she also should have communicated about it as well. And if she should have communicated about this as well, and not just bit his head off after the fact, you know what? We need to address one more thing before we talk about the wife. Okay, so getting the cake was an ASCON 3 thing. Sitting down and eating it in front of her, okay, that's a 2. He definitely should not have done that. That was not a smart move at all. So he's got a 3 offense and a 2 offense. Where is wife here? For getting mad that he brought it without communicating anything ahead of time. I think this puts her in 3. This puts her in 3. Because this should have been communicated, and I get her getting upset about it. Maybe not to the degree that she did, which is why she's on the scale here. Maybe she is a 2 for the severity of her reaction. But I feel like, again, that wasn't malicious. This was her reacting because she's fought so hard to prevent herself from having these temptations. And boom, there's one there. And then to get pissed at him for eating it too, that I understand. Because if there's something that you really want, can't allow yourself to have, so you don't allow yourself to have it, and then someone sits there and eats it right in front of you, I'd probably be pissed too. So I've got her at a 3, and I've got hubby at a 3 and a 2 for those 2 separate offenses. Red Dog says, remember, he doesn't support her diet. According to him, according to OP here, he does support it. He just doesn't partake in it. And him getting the cake was the thing that she said was him trying to sabotage it. Just another photographer says, ASCON 3, she should have told him no cake this year, but to get mad because she didn't communicate. Maybe a fruit bouquet. That's not a bad idea at all. Hey, Karen, down there in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Zoe, good point. It's a birthday, not a random Monday. Tammy, it sounds like he ate it in front of her because... Last paragraph. Here's the real kicker. Since she didn't want any cake, I sat down and ate the whole thing right then and there. I would have thought that getting rid of it would be helpful so she didn't have to look at it or be tempted by it, but no, she was mad at me for eating when she couldn't have any. So she saw him eating in the process of it. Like, dude, take it to the garage. Go sit in a closet and cower in fear while you eat at something. Just don't do it right in front of her. Roberta Haney Jones subscribed and became a member of the Storm. Welcome to the fam. Glad to have you here. Sarah Ford, I think we talked about that one, but resubbed. Thank you so much for sticking with the fam. That one was interesting. Yeah, Brooke, yeah, that's... Surely he didn't believe that he was really doing her a favor there. I think it was a wee bit spiteful. Had to be. Okay, we are at 1095 of 1500 on our High Bear goal, which will unlock an appearance from Candy Thunder, unless some kind of home emergency pulls her away, which is entirely possible. Our lives are always crazy, turbulent, like that. And we are at 28% of our overall 600 likes goal. Make sure you're tapping the screen to like the stream and also saving it. I'm saving it, sharing it as well. We are at a goal of 425 for the VIP members of the Storm, and we are at 393 of that. So we're already moving in the right direction. Remember that new subs also have the ability to show up on the Wheel of Thunder, which, by the way, Wheel of Thunder! I just love it too much. I just love it too much. Which, by the way, the wheel animation and everything, what we had ready to go today, the Super Emojis was a last minute addition, but frickin' love it. And again, we'll have at the end of the stream the top 10 gifters plus 4 random new members of the Storm on the wheel. We'll spin it. If it lands on, we'll spin it actually in the sub only live after the public live. If you win and you are located in the US, we will send you all 3 sticker packs. If you are not, we'll have a discount code for the swag shop for you. So it'll be random. It's going to be great fun. 1,200 to 1,500 there right now. I'm trying to make sure I keep my eye on it. We'll go ahead and get started with our next story, though, which will be story 2, right, Tony?
So I started crossing off with red.
Oh, look at you. Because we have to bounce around the document when stories are unlocked, it's inevitable that I'm going to screw something up. So he did a great job. And again, Magical Mama Handmade, thank you so much for the For Real Life Bluey cup here. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram. All kinds of cool stuff. Candy Thunder has one too. Amy says watching the live is a nice perk of being homesick. You live vicariously through people who eat what you cannot eat, Bex. I get it. And we'll take that into consideration too. Maybe we'll split it up and do 2 and 2, just like randomly two members of the Storm, period, or randomly 4 members of the Storm. We'll see how that goes. I see where you come from. I'll bring it up. I will bring it up. All right, our next story here is a follower submission. OP, if you're in chat and you want to claim your story, go for it. We always have follow-up questions for you. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another AITA story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for not wanting my son to go visit my mother-in-law? Bless you, Jesse, by the way. The whole chat's going to be like, bless you. Wow, that was Jesse. That was Jesse, our creative director. It was a hiccup the other day, wasn't it? It was like the daintiest thing I had ever heard my entire life.
Jesse makes the cutest.
She said, I sneeze like a monster and hiccup like what? A ballerina. That's the kind of balance you need. Am I the astronaut for not wanting my son to go visit my mother-in-law? My husband, 41 male, and I, 34 female, have been married for 8 years and together for 13. When we were dating, his mother was very kind and sweet to me. That all changed when we got engaged. Go ahead and do this because I see where it's going. She claimed she was happy for us, but you can tell she was annoyed with the whole situation. We come from different cultural backgrounds. Fast forward to our wedding day, we had a small ceremony and reception at my parents' house since they have a huge backyard. My then soon-to-be husband was 20 minutes late. I later found out it was because he got into a huge argument with his mom because she kept telling him, if you want to get out of this, you can go stay with family in Colorado. We live in California. Luckily, his sister grabbed him and his best man and brought him to our wedding. His mother did not attend. After the ceremony, we went to take pictures at this beautiful park. Well, we didn't know his mother knew where we were, but she showed up wearing a white dress. I'm trying to picture all this in my mind. It's like photographer's like, okay, let's have you here. Can you do your arm a little more like that? Perfect. Okay, stay right there. What the F is that in the... Is that somebody wearing a white dress? Dude, is that your mom? And she's like, oh, hello. I just came to be in the pictures because really, I'm the one my son deserves. I stared at her and then at my husband. You could tell he was livid and his sister was embarrassed. I said nothing. Mother-in-law claimed she was there for support and to take pictures with her son. She somehow got She somehow got the photographer, which is the word I was trying to say. You couldn't tell in the beginning. That was the word I was going for. Peanut Gallery's loving that one. She somehow got the photographer to take 15 pictures of just her. Now they're just heckling me. You can't screw up around these people at all. The fa-fa. I'm gonna change that section of the Stormcloud website now. It's not gonna be photography. It's gonna be fa-fa. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. Sorry. My husband. You assholes.
Ascon 2.
No, Ascon 3. Whole batch of you. I live there, though. It's okay. She somehow got the photographer to take 15 pictures of just her or with my husband. My husband argued with her the entire time, and she just kept saying, it's for memories. Mother-in-law and myself only took one picture together. During the reception, the woman made a fool of herself, getting wasted and trying to seduce the best man. My husband's brothers and sister had to take her home early. Now, 3 years later, I become pregnant with our first child. Around the same time, my husband's brother's wife also is pregnant with her second child. We get along, so we'd talk and share baby tips and whatnot. But during the pregnancy, mother-in-law would show more interest in my sister-in-law's pregnancy and buy her things for her baby. Sister-in-law would remind her it's two of us having babies in the family, and mother-in-law would make it clear she loves her baby more than mine. Sister-in-law apologized to me for that situation, but I told her it wasn't her fault. Well, I had a complicated pregnancy, which led to an emergency C-section. Waiting for them to make fun of that one too. Well, I had a complicated pregnancy, which led to an emergency C-section. But my boy was born healthy and beautiful. I was in the hospital for more than a week due to health issues on myself. Mother-in-law only came to see us one time, and it was in and out. Stayed for about 15 minutes, didn't hold our son. Well, sister-in-law gave birth. Mother-in-law would visit every day, share her grandson off on social media. Show. When sister-in-law gave birth, mother-in-law would visit every day and share photos of her grandson to show off on social media. There I knew that my mother-in-law was just petty and cruel. My family loves my son and husband, so that made me happy. Here's the part where I want to know if I'm the asshole. This last Christmas Eve, my mother-in-law asked my husband to visit her for the holidays and bring our son, 5 years old. I was not invited. Me, trying to keep the peace, told my husband he should go because that's his mom. I wasn't about to come between him and his mother during Christmas Eve. I went out and bought her a gift, wrapped it, and gave it to husband to give to her. So they went. My boys came back 2 hours later. My son was crying. My husband was pissed off, and I asked what happened. Apparently, my son didn't receive a single gift from his grandmother, and he had to watch his cousin open gift after gift, approximately 20 different gifts given to him by grandma. Husband grabbed our son up. Husband grabbed our son after our son asked him why grandma didn't get him anything. My family found out what happened and made sure my son felt loved and happy the following day. Soon, other holidays passed, and now mother-in-law is mad at me for not letting my son go see her. I told her I wasn't going to let her break his heart every time he saw her just because she's still mad I married her son. She called me a bee, and that my son was probably not even my husband's, and that I took her son from her. My husband heard everything and has told his mom off and hung up on her. I shouldn't feel bad, but I do, because my husband only had his mother growing up, and I feel like I ruined their mother as a relationship. And I feel like I ruined their mother-son relationship. Am I the asshole? Hold on. There's a whole lot going on here, but okay. So mother-in-law is obviously an ascon 1 here. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Bish be crazy. ascon 1. Faux show. I am slightly concerned because here at the end, the husband... Oh, sorry, it's stuck. I'm trying to call an audible. Here at the end, OP says my husband heard everything and told his mom off and hung up on her. Wait, that's it? That's all he did? Because at this point, it needs to be really, I mean, after the Christmas thing happened, it should have been no contact right there. If you are willing to do that to a child out of spite for their parents, not only are you an ascon 1, you don't get to be around that kid ever again. Why, as a parent, would you subject your child to even the slightest risk of that happening again? It's garbage. I am surprised that the son didn't do more than just hang up on his mom. This should have been a, hey, well, guess what? You screwed it up, and now you're never going to see us again. Deuces. I'm a little disappointed in that, but, I mean, hopefully it's heading that direction. Hopefully it is heading that direction. The initial question here was, am I the asshole for not wanting my son to go visit his mother-in-law? To go visit my mother-in-law. Am I the asshole for not wanting my son to go visit my mother-in-law? Absolutely not. You're doing the right thing for your kid. It's garbage that she would do this to your child because of you. And then say something so terrible as, he's probably not even my son's baby. And you stole my son away from me by marrying him. She's cuckoo. But your husband's going to have to draw a more firm boundary. It can't be you because she's not going to give a shit. She doesn't respect you at all. She hopefully respects her son enough and treasures that relationship enough to either have enough pain created by the risk of never getting to see him again to change, or it's just straight up no contact for the protection of your child. And that's the right thing to do. You couldn't trust her no matter what. Even if you make up, even if there's enough pain created for her to change here, and she never does anything like that ever again, you still couldn't fully trust her. Jessica says, my great-grandma used to do that stuff to my mom because she was adopted. That's garbage. And I'm sorry that you had to go through any version of that. Vita says, if it's not her son's baby, why does she want to see him? I don't think she does. I think inviting her son and his child was a baited move. She really just wanted to see her son, or she wanted the chance to inflict some pain on her grandchild just to take another dig at the mom, which is like crazy manipulative horse shit. Mohammed, that's my Moira Rose. Moira Rose is the mother-in-law every time. Not sure why. She just is. Vita, mother-in-law is the worst kind of human. Agreed. There's so many problems with this. So many. We are at 1382 of 1500 on the high bears right now. I see you guys pushing them through here. Thank you so much for doing that. Much appreciated. Quick update here. Silver, KD, Mal, Gen X Brett, Rebecca, Karma, Maligan, Kevin Clark, Lucinda, Tara, Potter, his baby hippo, Hannah, Ted's girl subscribed for the first time, became a member of the storm. Welcome to the fam. Glad to have you with us here. Chris, a museum girl, Stephanie Vandermillen, Allison Lewis, Rebecca, Stephanie as well, Tony Spark with the High Bears, Allison Gunderson, Hannah Bex, Tony Spark again, Guys Thompson, Twinkle Says, Suzette. Thank you guys so much. I know I'm missing some people, but trying to keep going here. Because Dusty, Moira is almost exactly like these mother-in-laws, BC says. You know what? Moira was awfully hoity-toity at the beginning of that show, but there's such a growth in the humanity side of her character throughout the series that she turns out to be a much better person than you think she is. Damn, but your first mother-in-law was like that? Well, it makes sense why you say first mother-in-law then. They can definitely drive a wedge between anything and ruin all kinds of stuff. We are at 395 of 425 on our VIP group right now. As a reminder, we are doing the sub-only live after this live, where we will have Tony Spark and Candy Thunder there as well to talk about who knows what. We'll see what happens with it. And we are at 42% of our likes goal for the stream already. So heck yeah, you guys are rocking right along with that. Make sure that you're tapping the screen to like and sharing as well. That will help us get there. Quick reminder, the Candy Thunder Part 1 podcast came out this past Sunday. It is out on YouTube, but also on Spotify and all the podcast channels. That is out there. Part 2 is going to come out this Sunday. And there are some really fun bits to it. So hope you enjoy that. Okay, we'll go ahead and dive into our next one here. Oh, boy. I know we're at 1470, 1500. I think we're gonna get there. What was my sheet's gone? What was the unlock for that?
Candy Thunder.
Oh, it's Candy Thunder. It's the candy. It's the candy unlocks Candy Thunder. Oh yeah, and don't forget, we also have this coming up. It will be officially done during the sub-only live, but we will post a story to announce the winner afterwards. Wheel of Thunder! Feels like my volume on that might be a little bit hot. We'll see. Let me know if that part is really loud to you, and I will adjust it there. Mal, thank you so much for the elephant drug. We are achieved on there. Let me give some thanks out real quick here while we have some confetti going on. Candy Thunder, you might as well go ahead and get up and mosey on over this way. Willow Queen, Bengal Joy, Mama Bear, Raymond Carrillo, Michelle Heather, Kayla Zvegel, Music Freak, Miss Helene, Blessed Garden, Sammy Baby, Fly Girl, Fairies Dust, Mama Silver, Short Arse, Revy Black, Tony Spark, Fly on the Wall, Mama Kink, Karina B. Martins, Caroline Forrester, Joan Jordan, Ann Embracker, Elise Newman. We've got Cherished Megan. Cherished Megan. We've got Becky the Unicorn. I have found Hannah, Tactical, Sweetheart, Hearts of Courage, Dylan Sprague. We've got Siri 79, Iceland, Justina Josfadzi, Twinkle Says, M Lobster, Vita's Living Loca, Lydia Tramp Music, October Swimming, Krista Museum Girl, Minions Den, Runesia FRP, Angela Curry, Ashley Sonnen, Maven Loves. Thank you guys so much for helping us get there. I'm going to get the next one set up real quick, and then I'll turn it over to Candy Thunder here. Who's looking amazing today? She looks amazing every day, but you look real good today, babe. You're looking real good. Our next one that we have here is... Get this set up real quick. Sorry, I'm slow, mama. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Is it hiding up here somewhere? I'm not seeing one that's the number that you... Oh, okay. I see it. The number, the scribbled out number had me confused. I got it. I get confused easy. I'm sorry. We're going to unlock a confetti cannon with 50 confettis. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Candy Thunder.
You can keep the headphones.
Oh my God, it's Candy Thunder.
Oh my God, Candy Thunder.
It's those damn emojis.
They're amazing.
Oh my God, it's Candy Thunder. What's up?
Nothing. I'm just talking to myself.
Hi, guys. Okay, did you guys get a chance to see, I think it was today's video that we posted.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, there was some...
The second one.
The second one that we posted, it was like around noon today. There were some spicy comments on there towards me and Dustin. So you guys will have to go check it out.
Somebody called me a P word.
It was...
Somebody called me a P word because I'm okay with because I don't believe that women have to cook when they go to family functions. That makes me a P word. Just want to put that out there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Brittany.
Hey, guess what?
Yes. Yes, Miss Helene, you probably do. They're really funny. I mean, we're not bothered by it at all. So
No.
it's fine.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey,
We know who we are.
we're going to have Candy Thunder actually read our gifters that helped us achieve the confetti goal, which has already happened. So let me get the confetti going here. And let me pull this up. And Candy Thunder, you can read just those names right there.
Okay. Willow Queen, Annie Butcher, Mama Bear, Mava. Ah!
Okay. All right.
Where'd it go? It was a blank? There was no confetti in it.
You guys are assholes.
There is no confetti in this confetti can. I just shot it. Nothing
I
came
just
out.
screamed. I'm sorry for screaming. That scared me.
There is nothing.
I'm glad we finally got someone else's reaction and not just mine when that goes on. I think that's great.
Dylan Sprague, Mama Silver, and Fairies Dust 88. Thank you, guys.
Hey, there we go.
Woo!
That was ridiculous. I was like, where's that?
I think, did you look down at yourself like looking for a hole that had blown and you're like,
Oh my God! Am I this? Am I alive?
Okay.
Am I alive?
Crystal, we are recording right now. Heck.
Luna's here today, guys. I don't know if she's a goal or not, but she'll definitely be on for the VIP live if you guys wanna check Luna out. She's in the office today. She's very scared of the confetti cannons.
Yep. I won't get that off. You got it stuck in your hair and stuff.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
I'll if Luna will let me, if she's calmed down enough, I'll bring her over and pick her up and show you guys. Candy Thunder has to show you something real quick here.
So we got these two cups. If you guys, I know some of you are Blue fans. Hopefully you can see them both. And they weren't like a gift or anything. I purchased them, but it's Magical Mama's handmade. She's on Facebook. She's on Instagram. She's on TikTok. The best like small business shop VIP group I have ever been a part of. She is so amazing, so uplifting. So if you guys aren't following her, you definitely should. Just a really cool small business culture. Oh, where are you going? Dustin. Oh, he's bringing Luna.
You gotta calm her down.
She's in recluse mode
Okay.
right now.
Bye, guys.
I was trying to pick up the 85-pound horse of a dog to bring her over here and show you, but she's like,
I don't want to go anywhere. That was loud noises. 2 of them in a row.
she's a little scared at the moment. Okay, let me set up the new goal here. Were you talking about Faith? You're asking what's her name on TikTok? Are you talking about Magical Mamas? Is she on TikTok? Yeah, she is. Magical Mama's Handmade on TikTok as well, right? Okay, yeah. Lysandra subscribed and became a member of the forum for the very first time. Welcome to the fam. Let me set up the new goal here. Luna takes some coaxing. It just takes some work. It just takes some work. You know what I mean? Okay, let me set up the next goal real quick. I've gotten myself lost. It's not hard to do. Looking for, oh shoot, the two numbers side by, like right next to it, those end up confusing me. Just today, for some reason, I'm not sure why. Just today. No, I legit still can't find it. I don't know what's going on here.
It's the big birthday cake.
Yeah, but
30 of them.
But that one's okay. Got it. So yeah, those two numbers, for whatever reason, I just keep transposing. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, we have the big birthday cakes. Oh, sorry, I didn't set the. Don't send them yet. Don't send them yet. Just 25 of them to unlock another cake story. And Candy Thunder, you forgot your cup. You forgot your cup over here. Tell you what. Vicky, you have a Luna too. There's cake story.
I found it.
Okay, here, let me see that. So our blank confetti cannon just yielded this.
It's like the outside ring. It's like toilet
Yep.
paper where it's like stuck.
It just didn't do anything. What? Well, what do you mean? Why did I do that? What did you want me to do with it? Reload it? You try to do some reloads? We're not going to try that. Okay. Already at 19 to 25 of that cake story. I'll go ahead and get this next story in so we can get her done. This one is from the AITA subreddit. Here's another AITA story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for canceling the entire vacation when I found out that my stepdaughters deliberately hid my daughter's passport to get her to stay home? Wait a second. We've read this one. Yeah, we've read this one before. The passport?
No, we didn't read it from the last one.
No, we did. This one we did. No, it wasn't the last one. This was like a few lives ago.
Okay, then go to number 4.
Yep. Skipping that one. Sorry. Almost read a dupe. Okay, this is a follower submission. So, OP, if you are in the chat and want to claim this story, let us know. You can raise your hand or you can just keep quiet and see what happens. That's totally your call. This one is, am I the astronaut for no longer visiting my family? I, 29 female, met my husband, 38 male, on Fortnite. I am originally from Georgia and he's from Louisiana. We met, became good friends, started dating, and I moved to Louisiana. I have 2 small children that grew up surrounded by my side of the family, so they know them well. Every year, at least twice a year, my husband and I take days off work, losing time and money to go and visit and drop the boys off for 2 to 4 weeks for their summer break. Lately, we've been trying to talk my side of the family into coming to visit, offering to buy their plane tickets, making accommodations for the trips, offering to buy their gas. At first, they seemed eager, happy, and excited to come. Then the closer it gets to them actually making the trip, they bail. Every single time. This is a 10 to 12 hour drive, so I understand the hesitation there. However, we make the trip several times a year with a 6 and 9-year-old. Just recently, my brother and sister-in-law agreed to make it. Excuse me. Just recently, my brother and sister-in-law agreed to make the trip with us paying for their gas. They seem to be the only ones willing to make the trip. I tried to talk my grandmother into riding with them. The thing about my grandmother is that she planned and was excited to go to North Carolina with some extended family for a week. The plans fell through on the other end of the family due to some family member being hospitalized. My grandmother still had the week off. My brother is leaving on Thursday and returning on Sunday, but my grandmother will not take 2 days off of work to visit. We made plans for my mother to visit, making a ton of accommodations, and she still seemed excited at first, but the day before it was set into motion, she canceled. I have lived in Louisiana for 3 years now, and they have visited once when my husband and I got married. Every time I have seen them since has been on our part to make the effort and the drive to Georgia. Am I the asshole for being tired of spending and losing money to visit when I do not get the same in return? This will be an interesting one. This will be a very, very interesting one. And I think there are a couple of different ways that you can go with this. There is a, if you move away from family, do you have the right to get mad because they don't make the effort to come visit you? I mean, you come back all the time, but you're trying to incentivize it too. You're trying to make it as easy as possible. And I understand wanting to get them there, but if you move away, can you get mad? It's definitely not balanced, that's for sure. I mean, the amount of time and frequency of you going to see them versus them coming to see you, it's completely imbalanced. I'm just curious to know if people's take about if a person moves away, does that change anything at all? It may change the frequency. Like it would, maybe you'd see those people less often, but for it to just be nothing and to be it completely imbalanced, where one person does it 100% of the time and the other, everyone else does it 0% of the time, seems very unfair. So this all comes down to I think that part of the family's stance on where you are priority wise, how much you matter, how much your kids matter. And it sucks. It sucks to know that. It sucks to find that out, that you just don't matter or you're way down the list, but at least you know now, and you don't have to waste a ton of time and effort trying to reciprocate when there's nothing to reciprocate against. It sucks for your kids most of all. And if those family members really wanted to see the kids, they would make the effort. So in your shoes, I think the play probably is don't make any plans to go there. And let them know if they want to spend some time with the kids or with you, or with you, we'll put it that way, that they need to make the effort, because right now it's been 100% you and 0% them, and see if anybody steps up. And maybe that can be enough pain to create change. Maybe. If it's not, then you really know where you stand and you shouldn't put any more effort into it anyway. Make it official. NTA, I get it. I mean, that's making those long trips in 10 to 12 hours isn't a massive haul, right? I mean, it's not. It's still a trip, though. I mean, that's a long day trip. We would drive that in a single day. No big deal. Don't break it up. I'm the driver. We'd make that happen. But I mean, that's something that requires a shite ton of planning, especially if you've got kids, if you've got full-time jobs. Like, this is something that you have to consider, and it takes a whole lot of work. There's also, you've got you as a single entity, your family, and then you've got how many families that make up your extended family back in Georgia. How many? Like, let's say 4 or 5, just as a guesstimate here. So you've got 4 different sets of people that any one of them could make an effort to come see you, instead of you, the one entity, being on the hook to make that effort to go see all of them every single time. Oh, Miss Helene, you had people stop seeing you when you were 20 miles away, 20 minutes away. Beck says, honestly, you're not a priority to them. Don't prioritize them. Better for your mental health. I agree with that. The hard part of it is, let me try to fix this thing. I've gotten it all jacked up. Got my mic all wonky here. The hard part is the kids, right? Because you want your kids to be able to know their grandparents. You want them to be able to know your extended family. But guess what? If your extended family doesn't give a flying F if they get to see or spend time with your kids, then are those really people that you want your kids around in the first place? You want them to know that these people exist, for sure. Don't really need to cause yourself a whole lot of pain for something that they don't see as a benefit at all. Jarby says, depends on if OP's family have like money or health concerns, or work may be a hurdle. Sure. But again, that's where I was going with you've got a single entity here as OP's family, and then you've got multiple families as part of the extended family that any one of them could make the trip to come visit and don't. So out of those 4, surely one of them per year would make the effort to come see. It's tough. I get it. Oh my George Takei. Oh my, we have hit a cake goal here. We have hit a cake goal. Or is this the one we hit when Candy Thunder was up here? No, it wasn't. This is the new one, right? Okay, gotcha. Okay. Tony Spark trying to like gauge frequency of when things will happen. You guys always keep him on his toes, because one thing, it will happen a little bit slower than he thinks, and the next thing that he thinks is going to be slower is like boom, and he's like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Keep being unpredictable. Willow Queen, Lissa Lynn for Life, Mama Bear, Hunter Girl, Maven Loves, Fly on the Wall, Blessed Garden, Revy Black, and Andy Butcher. Thank you guys so much for helping us meet that cake goal. Y'all are awesome. So we have confetti and a cake coming up here. Confetti and a cake story, not an actual cake. I'm not going to sit here and eat a cake in front of you. That would be wrong. I'd also feel really weird about it. Very weird. Very weird. Oh no. I see where we're going with this. Back to the Smithsonian. Back to the Smithsonian. Oh dear. Let me get the amount set up here. Okay. It's helmet time. It's helmet time. We've got 100 of the football helmet set up. Here's the goal. Here comes the confetti. Ready? That thing blasted so hard I thought I was going to put a hole in our concrete ceiling. It was like a boom. It's everywhere. My goodness. Thank you guys so much for helping us get there. We're already at 28, 30 something climbing of the helmets. You guys really want to see the super duper authentic astronaut helmet. I know it. I know that you do. I know it. And don't forget, we have the Wheel of Thunder coming up at the end of the stream as well. That will take place on the sub only live. We'll go ahead and spin it and find the winner, but we will post a story to announce the winner after that. And it is going to be for the top 10 gifters, and then we'll have 4 members of the Storm randomly on there as well. Some questions here. Did you bring the shop back? Yes. Tony's got the shop back. It makes life so much easier, like incredibly easier. Kristen says, I made white cake with a can of strawberry filling in the layers last night. Oh, okay. We'll be there in, what is it from here to Pierce City? Like 40 minutes? No, it's a little longer, right? We'll be there shortly. Sharon says her first live feed. Been trying to catch me on here since Halloween. Work has been brutal. Glad to have you here today. I'm so glad that you get to hang out with us. It's a little bit of a circus on Wednesdays, so you picked a good day to jump in. It's just a hell of a lot of fun. Wheel of Thunder is a little on the loud side. Okay, cool. So let me next time we get it rolling. Here, I'll do it again so I can adjust it. Wheel of Thunder! Maybe. Let's try this. Don't know what's going on there. Sorry. Okay. I'll get it adjusted. We'll get it adjusted. I'm sorry. This is I'm making cake, chocolate sponge cake with chocolate whipped cream frosting. Heck yeah. Okay, let me get this cake story done real quick. Wait a second. Are we going to do a cake story with a helmet on? Is that what's going to happen here? We're gonna do a cake story with a flipping helmet on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get it ready.
I haven't hit it yet.
I know.
I need one more.
I know. I'm getting it. We need one more helmet to read this cake story with a helmet on. I mean, everybody on here. There we go. We got there. Stephanie, you pushed us over the edge. There you go. If anybody on the stream today is connected with the Smithsonian in any way, be sure that you do not tell them that we have this. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble for it. Okay, let me go ahead and give some thanks here real quick, and then we will read our cake story with a flipping helmet on. Willow Queen, Wayward AF, Annan Bracker, Mama Bear, Jarby, Kevin Clark, Maybe Loves, Blue Easter, Lydia Trim Music, I Have Found Hannah, Flag Girl 603, Runesia FRP, and Fairy's Dust. Thank you guys so much for having fun with us, for playing along. We appreciate it very much. Let's go ahead and get the next one set up here before I dive in on that story. We've got... You called several audibles today, haven't you, Tony? Okay, we can unlock yet another cake story with this next one. We can do it. The cake slices in full 50 of them for cake story number 3. But before that, You hear the Candy Thunder giggle again. I feel like every time I put this on, I become like 100 times more attractive. Like I immediately start thinking like, I'm gonna lay you down by the fire. Too far? Too far. Too far. Okay, I'm gonna go find my cake story here. Especially if this is your first live that you're witnessing, you're getting a treat. An absolute treat. I think I have confetti in my mouth. This is me trying to get a drink with this thing on. All right, we're going to try this again. Okay, here we go. This is a cake story. This is a follower submission. I have a very authentic astronaut helmet on. Here we go. Am I the astronaut for baking a laxative-laced cake for my husband and his mistress? Ooh. Depending on when the laxative kicked in, like what they were doing when it kicked in. Candy Thunder sometimes joins me across the line. I'm going to try to keep this short. I, 32 female, have suspected my husband of cheating on me for a few months. I have a job that requires me to travel quite often, and lately, when I have returned home after a few days away, I've been finding things that are out of place or just different. Clues that another woman has been in my home. I have asked about some of the things, but he always seems to have an explanation for everything, always denying that there is anything to be suspicious of. He says I'm being crazy. There's a bus just went by that said Wandering Troubadours of Finland. And it was like a bus from the 60s. It was like the most random thing to look up and see driving past. I was recently scheduled for a work trip over the weekend of my husband's birthday. While I felt bad for having to be away on his birthday, I saw an opportunity. I decided to bake him a birthday cake for him and his mistress to enjoy while I was away. So I made a beautiful chocolate cake laced with a whole box of laxatives and placed it in the refrigerator with a birthday card for him to find while I was gone. If he really was cheating on me, he surely would not spend his birthday alone, and he and the other woman surely deserved to spend the whole weekend in the bathroom. I didn't hear much out of him over the weekend, and I was in conferences most of the time. I did text him on his birthday and wished him a happy birthday, and he thanked me, but that was it. When I returned home on Sunday evening, he was laying on the couch and he said he hadn't been feeling well. I checked the fridge and sure enough, a big piece of the cake was missing. I then checked the dishwasher and there were 2 dessert plates and 2 wine glasses and some other dishes waiting to be washed. Wait a minute. Wait. So Brozo has his lady friend over and then leaves her dirty dishes for you to clean? I understand, but he didn't run it. He didn't run it. He's like, oh, if I can't see the evidence, it doesn't exist. I can't be 100% sure that he shared his cake with another woman, but all the clues point toward that, so I don't feel bad for making his birthday weekend shitty. Should I? Am I the asshole? Specific question is, am I the astronaut for baking a laxative-laced cake for my husband and his mistress? Thoughts here? Thoughts? I had to take it off for my feedback. Yeah. Yeah. So, did I just get less attractive to you? I'm sorry. Is this the equivalent of me shaving off my beard, taking off the helmet? She said, whoa. Too far. Too far. We got a lot of NTA, a lot of brozo showing up here. Yeah, Tony Sparks said it best a minute ago. It's not the fact that he's a cheater. It's the fact that he's bad at it. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's 2 tricks to ASCon.
Oh, okay.
Cheater and bad cheater.
Okay. Candy Thunder here says that's 2 trips to ASCon 1 because you're not just a cheater, you're a bad cheater. So, 2 trips. Here we go. Here's number 1. Here's number 1 for being the cheat skis. And we'll return here. And about 30 minutes later, when the laxatives start kicking in, another trip to ASCon 1. Which is filled with violent bowel movements. Violence. In the fiery depths of Ascon 1, the only rumbling you hear is that of your intestines preparing for battle. I can only hope that this stuff finally kicked in whenever they were, getting close to sexy time. And then hopefully it hit the mistress first, and she was like, my tummy doesn't feel so well. And then I would imagine that, a lot of people have issues going to the bathroom in places that aren't their home. Well, she's in, this married man's home, his wife's home. And she has to get violently ill while she's there. And then he has to get violently ill too. The only thing that could make it any better is if this was a one bathroom house where one of them ended up having to use the sink or the bathtub or the yard. Time to get a video camera? There you go. Yeah. Slyn Klein? Sealing Klein. I hope I'm getting that name right. Agreed. Yeah, you went the same place I did. I hope they only have one bathroom because that could have turned out really well. No proof, said OP. Real life works correct. There's no proof. There's no proof. So, 2 dessert plates, 2 wine glasses. Hell, could be a buddy. You never know. But she's got a hunch right now. And I think typically, I'm not saying take your gut as the gospel truth, but most of the time your gut warrants investigating to either validate or disprove, right? So if you have a gut feeling about something, then try to disprove or validate it. Meadow, the short version of this is that OP baked a laxative-laced cake because she thought that her husband was cheating on her and supposedly thinks that he shared it with his mistress. Although, of course, he's not going to speak up. He's not going to speak up about it. We are at 70% of our like goal right now. We're at 425.5, aiming for 600K. So be sure that you're tapping the screen to like it, please, and sharing as well. That helps us get there. Our cake goal is already achieved here. We're at 397 to 425 for our paid subs, the members of the Storm, which we are going to do the sub-only live after this live for. So heck yes. Let me go ahead and give some thanks here for our cake peeps for the other cake story. Before I do that, the question here, am I the... Boom! I saw you scurry in at the last second. He was trying to surprise me. He was trying. Before we get into that, before we move on and start playing our confetti music and stuff, the question was, am I the asshole for baking a laxative-laced cake for my husband and his mistress? I say no. But there's also no proof that he has a mistress here. So, some proof of that would be good. This was an attempt to get further proof. Maybe if something happened, he would speak up, or you'd find some grosser evidence, maybe. But trusting your guts to at least experiment in that direction, I don't think you're an asshole for playing on a hunch here at all. Okay, let me get some thanks going here for our people who helped us meet this goal. 450 slices of cake for another cake and confetti story. This is Willow Queen, Lissa Lynn for Life, Michelle Heather, Linda Gardner, Kevin Clark, Mama Bear, Taylor Dactyl. Saw what you did there. Taylor Dactyl. Charles T. Megan. We've got Becky the Unicorn, Fairies Dust, Fly Girl, Kez, Karen Sammy, I Have Found Hannah, Crash Bash, Babe Loves, Blue Easter, Lucinda Sue, Lord Midnight, and Amanda Marie. Thank you guys so much for helping us get there and crush that goal super fast. You guys are just flying through them today. Flying through. And this will be our third cake story that we're unlocking here. Okay, we've got... I sees it. We're going to unlock a Tony Spark story. Almost there. Got it. Okay, we've got 1,500 finger hearts, and that is going to unlock Tony Spark reading a story and Candy Thunder and Tony giving feedback on it. Henry, subscribe and became a member of the Storm. Welcome to the fam. Love to have you here. Thank you so much for joining up with us. Subi Mom, thank you guys so much. Blue Easter, Roberta, Subi Mom, Heather, Jess HB, Shorty Lynn, Allison Lowe, Nick MC, Stephanie Vandermillen, Artina, Allison, Dee Dee, Renesia, Hunter Girl. You guys are already coming through with those finger hearts. They want to hear Tony Spark read a story. That's what's going on here. In the meantime, I'm going to jump down to cake story number 3 so we can read it. All right. A drink of water, and then I'm good. We're 80% now of our overall likes goal, too. Thank you guys so much. Luna, what? Hey, use some of those to entice her over here so I can introduce her. Oh, she's afraid of the confetti on the floor.
No, she's afraid of the sound. But now
I get it.
Well, it's like the things on the shadows on the ceiling.
Yeah, she is afraid of shadows on the ceiling. If you have a flashlight and like do a shadow puppet, she'll lose her mind. It probably is the magical floating confetti that's like levitating here. She's like, what kind of witchcraft is this? I ain't going near that. But even if she did let me pick her up, if I started to walk over here, she would absolutely geek by the time I got her over here. B, subscribed for the first time, became a member of the storm. Welcome to the fam. Glad to have you here. We'll go ahead and dive in on this cake story. All right, we have an AITA story for you. That is another and a cake story. We have both an AITA and cake story for you. This one is my boyfriend's mom the asshole for baking his ex a birthday cake? I, 25 female, have been with my boyfriend, 26 male, for 3 months. He was in a long relationship of about 8 years before me. They had been together since high school. Coincidentally, our birthdays are only a few days apart. We made plans for my birthday this year to go out to dinner with his parents. We met at their house so we could ride into the city together. While we were there waiting to leave, my boyfriend noticed a cake sitting on the counter that said happy birthday on it. Thinking it was for me, he mentioned to his mom how nice it was for her to bake me a cake and that he was excited to taste it when we returned from dinner. But his mom said, "Oh no, that cake is for T," his ex. He asked why she would bake a cake for T's birthday, and she said that she always bakes her a cake for her birthday. My boyfriend looked surprised and confused. I just stood there feeling awkward as his mother continued to chatter about how wonderful of a person T was and how she still doesn't understand why they split up. And how she still doesn't understand why they split up. She must have remembered then that I was there too, because she came up to me, patted my cheek, and said, "Oh, honey, I like you too." What's Candy Thunder running for?
Well, because we're about to have to make an appearance.
Oh, guys. And with that, we all filed out of the door, loaded up in the car, and headed to dinner without another word being said about it. The whole rest of the evening was uncomfortable for me, because not only was my birthday dinner foreshadowed with how much my boyfriend's mom loves his ex, but also with the fact that she baked her a freaking birthday cake and did not bake one for me, despite knowing that it was my birthday since we went to dinner for it. My boyfriend said I shouldn't let it get to me because she was close to his ex and had been a part of her birthday plans for the past 8 years. He said she would eventually get used to it being me instead of T that was around. I realize his mother and I don't know each other very well since my relationship with her son is still new and I have only met her a few times, but I can't help but feel like this was a real asinine thing for her to do, even if she never intended for us to see the cake she had made. She should have hidden it. She could have lied and said it was for me and made another one for T. She could have just baked 2 cakes, but she didn't. She made a birthday cake for his ex and not for me. Does that make her the asshole? Bernie Gillen subscribed and became a member of the storm. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. Nikki with all those Tony Spark emotes up in there. Look at that. We've got... Kristen says 3 months is early to expect a cake. Okay, so they've been together for 3 months. I couldn't remember how long. 3 months. 3 months is early to expect a cake. However, is it long enough to expect that your significant other's mother does not make a cake for their ex? That I think is the real question here. Is it, how wrong is it for, in any relationship, new, long, established, whatever, for a parent to still communicate and give birthday gifts to an ex? It is inappropriate. I believe so. But OP didn't say she was expecting a cake from boyfriend's mom. True. So it's not okay. So that goes to your point, Kristen. She wasn't expecting a cake. She wasn't expecting her to bake a cake for the ex, and that's what she's thrown off by here. Okay. So we can separate that out. It's not her expecting a cake. It's not her wanting a cake. Even it's. Why would you do that for an ex? And if you are going to do that for an ex, then there should be some kind of balance to it. At least hide it. Don't leave it out there like some kind of middle finger. Lexi, you can't control someone baking a cake. Agreed. We can't control them baking a cake. I think this is more about the relationship between the boyfriend's mom and his ex. Do parents have to, or siblings or any kind of family members and friends, let's put it that way, do everyone connected to, as like a first layer connection, primary connection to a person, do they abandon the connection to their significant other when they split up? Do they have to? Is that the right thing to do? Or if they were pretty close friends, even if it was his mom, is it okay for them to still have a friendly relationship afterwards? This is a real question. I don't know what the right answer is here. MSJ Love says it's about new girlfriend insecurities. That's entirely possible. Frankie J's mama says, my brother is an asshole. LOL. Sneaking that verdict in there. Nikki says the parents didn't break up with her. It's 8 years of them in your life. Okay, there's one. Miss Celine says, yes, it is, meaning yes, they should end that relationship, or it's okay for them to do. Melissa says family should respect what their loved one prefers, whether it's no contact or some. Okay, there's another angle. Beck says I stayed best friends with two of my brother's exes because I was friends with them before they dated. That's probably different. I think there's some kind of addendum there where if you had a relationship with a person before your family member or friend ever got with them, then you get a grandfather clause, right? Like it's okay. If it was only based on the relationship that they had, it's probably less okay. But then you have to consider things like how long was the relationship? How close were they? How much time did they spend together? Like there's all kinds of considerations to be made there. So I don't know what the real answer is. I don't know what the right answer is here. I think we can only say here are the potential paths. There's context that matters. And something I've been thinking about a lot lately, for whatever reason, is context for stories like this. And in some cases, the context doesn't matter. It's the individual situation, and it's black or white, or we can at least speculate and get it down to a few paths. In situations like this, context is very important because it is the context of that previous relationship that mom had with the ex that determines how acceptable or how understandable it is that they still have some kind of contact. Regardless, knowing that your son is dating someone new, I feel like mom has a responsibility here to not shove it in her face, not cram it down her throat. Not be like, I have this really great relationship with this ex. I don't know why you guys broke up. Mom's an asshole for those two things. Maybe potentially leaving it out and waving that flag right in her face and then saying what she said right in front of her. Those are things she is an asshole for. And I don't think the context matters at that point. So, where would she be? Where would she be? Could have done it differently. Should have done it differently. Definitely shouldn't have done that. You're a terrible human. This is not ascon one malicious behavior, in my opinion. I think leaving the cake out and saying what she said, maybe 2 or 3. It's in that area.
That's for you.
No, I think it's for you. I think that one needs to be you as well.
No.
Tony Spark is, and we're calling an audible and adding some goals on here. So we're going to add another goal. And I think that goal is going to unlock Tony Spark reading a story with the Astronaut helmet on, which is amazing. I think everybody needs to give a big round of applause for Tony Spark stepping up and doing that kind of thing.
No.
he's behind that camera. You can hear him saying, no, that's you. You, no.
Candy likes it too much when you wear it.
Oh, that's true. Gina says mom is ascon too for what she did to her son. So yeah, to the son and to his new girlfriend. I mean, I'm sure that was embarrassing for him as well. But saying what she said and leaving that cake out, maybe on purpose, not trying to think about the new girlfriend and what harm could come to her. She's definitely an asshole for it. It's just what level. Definitely shouldn't have done it. I can get on board with that. Let's go. Let's go to ASCon 2. Okay, that's where Mom is. Meanwhile, Tony Spark and Candy Thunder are over here having a giggle fest about something. Okay, so we crushed this goal. Let me get the confetti up. Tony Spark's going to come over and read a story now. Hey-o. Look, he's fixing his hair. He's getting all prettied up. Willow Queen, Lissa Lynn for life. Bangle Joy, TVD Fangirl, Hunter Girl, Siri 79, Iceland, Olivia and Sons, Sammy Baby, Lord, Midnight, Kez, Karen's, let me see the whole thing, Kez, Taylor Dactyl, Mama Silver, Jarby, Becky the Unicorn, Blue Easter, Samantha Burkett, Fly Girl, Dee Dee Love, Brenda Bell, Wishy Louise, Lydia Trent Music, Runesia FRP, RJ, HJ1, Lizabee, Love Only Here, Hearts of Courage, Minions Den, October Swimming, Kevin Clark, Mabel Loves, Katie Opp, I Have Found Hannah, Miss Helene, Justina, Joe's Fadesy. Thank you all so much for making this happen. Tony Sparks going to read a story. What? You guys hit the likes goal too? What? Look at this. Bar's all the way filled up. It's at 102% right now. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. And I spilled the beans on this one already, the new one that I'm setting up, but hold on. Don't throw them in just yet. How many of them? Somebody's going to read a story with a helmet on. We've got another goal set up for 300 of the helmets because you guys crushed all the other goals already. So let me get this. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. You guys have just hit it out of the park. Crushed it. Look at all the Tony Spark emotes coming up here. So Tony's going to read a story, and then Candy and Tony are going to give feedback here. Let me...
I already picked it up.
Oh, you did?
I got this.
He knows where he's going here. Let me just get out of your way, bro.
I already read the story.
Yeah,
You guys, they don't do blind reacts.
No, we have to be prepared for this. Oh boy. And hey, yeah, thank you guys for the likes goal. That's awesome. We crushed it. We would shoot off more confetti, but we have a puppy that is a little afraid of the confetti sound. So, but thank you guys. Wow, that's a lot.
We can do confetti burst there if we need to.
Oh, is this the fancy button? You're supposed to be like over here with me while I read this story.
Can you just stand there awkwardly?
Yeah, I would like you to stand there awkwardly. Okay, just remember, I'm not Dusty Thunder, so we'll see how this story goes. All right. Okay. You telling me what to... Okay, this is...
Backseat, right?
Yeah, she's backseat reading over here. Okay. All right, this is a follower submission, and it is, am I the astronaut for wanting my husband to get our dog professionally trained? OP, if you're here, let us know. I'll try to see it. You have to watch for if you see OP in the chat, because otherwise I won't be able to focus on this. All right. My husband, 22 male, and I, 22 female, are expecting a beautiful baby boy in just 2 months. He is our first child. Before we met, he had taken in an adorable American pit bull. She's an absolute joy to be around and play with. I love her very much. The only thing is that she's not really trained in anything other than being housebroken. She has a tendency to jump on and nip anyone playing with her. She has nipped my brother-in-law. She has nipped my brother-in-law 8 and nearly knocked him down on multiple occasions. He's very small for his age. It worries me because she's a good-sized dog and not too long ago drew blood when she nipped my husband when he was trying to take her for a walk. She also occasionally has issues with the leash we have for her. It doesn't have any teeth on the inside. It's a simple rope, self-loosening leash. She has also been aggressive with his parents' dog when she's in the backyard with them. Both of the dogs she has attacked were smaller, and she went for their necks and drew blood again. I've had multiple discussions with them about my concerns, and each time I do, he gets upset with me and tells me he will not give up on his child. I'm not expecting him to give up on her just to get her some proper training. He also insists that she sleep in our bedroom even after we have the baby, and for the baby to sleep on the bed. Wait. All right, I'm going to read that again. He also insists that she sleep in our bedroom even after we have the baby and for the baby to sleep on the bed with us. She does try to jump in bed with us and sometimes jumps on me in the process. Luckily, she hasn't landed on my belly, but I'm scared that she just might. I've spoken to my mother-in-law and she doesn't see a problem with it. And when we get onto the dog for jumping on us, on anyone, she tells us it's okay, she's fine, or let her be. When I spoke to my mom about it, she suggested that we professionally train or rehome her. I don't want to get rid of her because we love her very much, and she isn't always like this, but I need to make sure that our son is going to be safe anywhere in our home. Am I the asshole? No, you didn't reach the goal already. What? Oh, oof. You scared me there. Wow. I don't know what I missed in here. So what do we think? Candy, thoughts?
Yes.
Scoot
over. That way.
You want me to swap?
No. You stay. Okay. The whole time you were reading that, I was thinking, what if this was another child? Would you just not parent the child? Would you not discipline? Would you not try to correct the child? He said, what did he say up there? Go scroll up a little bit.
Where? Oh.
He said that he will not give up on his child, referring to the dog. So he feels like she's a member of his family, and he's doing her a disservice by not training her, not parenting her as he should. Jesus, Dustin.
Okay. Once again, Dusty Thunder has my phone and is commenting on me. I want to put the disclaimer that anything being said is not from me. It's from Dusty Thunder.
If something were to happen, they have their kid and the dog, like something happens and the dog accidentally hurts the child, the dad is going to flip out. He is. There's no question about that. He's going to freak out. And he's going to most likely want to put the dog down. And why not train her now so that you don't have to go through that heartache whenever it happens? Don't give up on your dog. Just train your dog so that she doesn't jump and that she doesn't knock kids over. I mean, Luna is 90 pounds and has knocked Navy over. And we try to correct that. It's not she's never nipped or bit or anything like that.
To be fair, Luna is just a giant toddler and has probably knocked herself over just from walking.
She does. She falls over just walking around. So
she's scared of her own shit.
Yes. Train this poor puppy so that this puppy can be your child's best friend instead of just saying the dog is as it is and there's nothing else we can do.
Well, it's not helping that the mother-in-law is like, oh, the dog's fine. She's fine. She's fine. Like,
but they're all going to turn on that dog as soon as that dog just does something to the child.
And like, how big of a deal is it for you to train the dog?
Here comes Luna.
Speaking of dogs.
Here she comes.
Oh, look at her.
Here, we got to move.
Yeah, because we're in confetti zone here. This is a 90-pound dog. Look at mommy. She's like, am I going to read a story? Okay.
She's like, all right, I've had enough.
Oh, God, I have to walk on the confetti. Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I interrupted.
But yeah, so I think, I don't think she's the asshole for wanting to.
No, I think she's preparing her life for the arrival of a child. And
Did I just push the button?
To what?
NTA.
Yeah. So I would say the OP is NTA.
Nice work, Tony.
Huh?
Lightning bolts for Tony Spark. He did awesome reading that story.
Yeah.
Really?
There's a lot of comments in there. I'm sorry if I missed any comments or things like that because I was focused on that because I was having enough time.
And I agree. I don't think the breed of the dog matters in this situation. I think any dog is capable of doing things that they shouldn't. They just need proper training, proper parenting from her parents. Because,
like you said, the second that dog does something to that child, the dad is going to freak out.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
Yeah.
I feel like dads are...
You gotta get over here.
Sorry.
You gotta get over here. You're too far. You gotta be in here. All right. Cool.
All right, I'm going to tilt back up.
We're at...
I'm tall.
We're at 187 of 300 for Dusty to read a story in the Ascon.
Hang on. It was Tony. It says, the goal says Tony for Tony to read.
Tony did not consent to that.
Oh.
But don't forget about the this thing. Wheel of Thunder! So we still got time. Top 10 gifters, make it on the wheel. And I think we're going to do 2 new subscribers and 2 existing subscribers.
Okay.
And we'll pick from that, and you'll be on the wheel and win. Miss Helene, if you're still in the chat, your sticker should be to you sometime this week. So I put them in the mail on Monday. So she was our big winner last week. So yeah, exciting.
Heck yeah. Great job, Tony Spark and Candy Thunder. Lightning bolts for both of them, actually. Lightning bolts and or custom emotes. Because they're too much fun. They're too much gosh heckin' fun. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get a normal story in here. Way to crush it, guys, on our overall like score. We're at 106% right now. I'm going to leave it up there just so you guys can see how awesome that you've freaking done here. What story would I be on now? 5? Okay, cool. I scrolled to the right one. We're going to go ahead and get another story in real quick. This one is a follower submission. OP, if you're in chat, let us know if you'd like to. It's entirely up to you. This one is, am I the astronaut for refusing to liquidate my stock portfolio to pay off my brother's debts? I, 27 female, and my 3 siblings, 29 male, 26 female, and 22 male, grew up in a not wealthy but financially comfortable family. My parents made a lot of great decisions that helped us all get started off well in life, including purchasing stocks for high-value companies in our names over 20 years ago. Those stocks are now worth a lot of money. We also all didn't need to have student loans, and we all live in apartments owned by our parents. I'm now a corporate attorney and make good money independently of my family, so I'm very financially comfortable. I wouldn't say my parents play favorites, but due to circumstances I won't get into... Sorry. I wouldn't say my parent... Try that again. Words are hard. I wouldn't say my parents play favorites, but due to circumstances I won't get into, my parents gave my brother a business and also bought him a luxury car, which me and my younger siblings didn't get. Unfortunately, my big bro has made some terrible decisions and blown a lot of his money on partying and God knows what else. As a result, his business had to close. He lost the car and is somehow under a mountain of debt. He liquidated his own stocks, but that still wasn't enough to wipe out the debt. He is now demanding that my other siblings and I also liquidate our own stocks to help him out. My younger siblings agreed, but I've refused because why should my financial future suffer due to his bad decisions? My parents also refused to help him out any further. He's complained about mine and my parents' decisions not to give him any more money to settle his debts to anyone who will listen, and my parents and I have received a lot of criticism as a result. So am I the asshole for not helping out even though I can afford to? No. Okay, this would have been the equivalent of your brother just spending your money whenever he accumulated the debt in the first place. And if he's going to pay those things off, then you would then have a certain percentage of ownership in whatever he did to accumulate that debt in the first place too, if he's not paying you back. But he's not even asking. He's not asking nice. He's not like, hey, bro, here's my plan. I'm going to be making money doing this. I think I can pay this off in X amount of time. That's not what he's doing. He's not approaching this like he would appreciate it at all. He's approaching it like he's entitled to it. And this is the problem that was probably created by how your parents approached this from the get-go. I think when you have a situation where someone hasn't been hungry and doesn't understand the importance of hard work and making money and how all that works, they're going to take it for granted. And that's what's happened here. He took it way for granted and is taking yours for granted too. Wants to. You better make sure that legally he has no way to touch anything that you've got. And it sounds like your parents have done that right. And I've set it all up. I don't know if it's dictated by trust or how it is set up, but hell no. Hell no. You know he's not going to be responsible with your money. He wasn't responsible with his own. So why? But it's the demanding. If he had asked politely and had a plan that made sense and there was minimized risk involved and he was pitching this like a loan, that would be one thing. But that's not. He's just demanding it of you and your siblings. He's like, oh, I've spent all my money and created a mountain of debt. Now I need yours. No. The telltale sign in this is that the parents refuse to help him any longer. The parents who set him up for success in life, refuse to help any longer. If they refuse, why the hell should you? Why should you help? It's just entitlement, plain and simple. Straight up entitlement. NTA for not wanting to help this entitled little big bro shit. Hey, Brunesia says, Tony Spark, I love how you're participating.
Typo in there? Type Dusty.
I think we're at 210 of 300 on the helmets, and people really want to see Tony Spark wear that helmet as well.
I'll tell you what, if they hit the goal, I'll come on and give feedback to the story.
Okay.
Will that work?
All right. We'll call that a tentative deal.
If we hit the goal.
Here's the goal, or here's the deal. Tony Spark says if we hit the goal, this is the helmet goal, right?
Yeah.
If we hit the helmet
Last
goal,
goal of the day for the last story.
he will give the feedback for that story
With you.
with me.
I'll wear that.
I'll read the story, and you'll wear the helmet.
I'll wear the helmet while I'm giving my feedback.
He'll wear the helmet while he's giving feedback.
But we gotta hit the goal.
I'll take it.
We've only got 10 minutes.
I'll take it. 213 of 300. We can do this. So Tony Spark is going to wear the helmet, guys. It's confirmed. If we can hit the goal, we got to get there. Money complicates everything, right? Money brings out the worst in people, and this is what's happened to Big Bro. And this is going to cause a big rift in your relationship moving forward because he's going to resent you for not bailing him out, and you're going to resent him for feeling like he's entitled to your money that you've been responsible with. No. It's like this. It's like there's a pie that your parents are cutting up. Everybody gets a slice of pie. He eats his immediately and then vomits it back up. And now it's just a pile of goo on the floor. And he's like, I'm going to eat all of your pies because of that. It wouldn't make any sense, right? This is the same kind of scenario. It's like, no, you were stupid with your pie. You don't get my pie. You're not going to ruin my pie too. Back off. Back off. It was pie, not cake. I don't know why. Just branching out. We are branching out. Again, you guys crushed the goal of 600 likes today. We are at 110% and still climbing now. 700? We are at 663 right now. Yeah. What the Gray Rock is cooking says bro needs to stop having safety nets. Bro needs to learn how to fall and fail on his own. Agreed. That's the best thing anybody could do for him. He's going to have to learn at some point how to fail forward. Because right now he's just failing backwards and relying on other people to pick him back up. And that's how you grow as a human, and as an adult, you fail forward, right? You learn by trial and error. And when you can learn to fail forward, you're at least learning from those experiences and not making the same mistakes and growing from it. He's not growing from it at all. Clearly a pie chart reference, Meadow. Yes, thank you. Thanks for helping me out there. Allison and Dawn agreeing on the NTA here as well. Charlie Diego, and she has a good job that affords her more income, so there's that. Yeah, agreed. And brother had a business and irresponsibly tanked it somehow. Needs to cut out that brother, Liz. Agreed there. Brother is ascon 1, OP&T. Okay, we do need to go ahead and classify brother here as well. Let's do that. Brother is an ascon 1. He's a shite person. It's not. We've talked about this before, but the cool thing about ascon ratings and about these kind of situations is that it's not a permanent label. This can always be turned around. Unless you were the mother-in-law who tried to actually take a baby and from a house in the middle of the night, that you can't really come back from. Most things you can come back from. You can turn your life around, just start choosing differently. It requires being willing to learn and listen and accept the fact that you don't know everything and you haven't done everything right and you don't know all the answers. And brother could do that. He has that choice to do that right now, to be like, you know what? I really needed to be humbled. I've got to bootstrap this and just start from scratch and really make my own way. And that's the only way it's really going to work. He has that option. He won't do it, but he's got the option. You can always turn it around. Look at that. We hit the freaking football helmet goal here. Heck yes. And some additionals that have come into buns with the pie and the cake. TLS. Oh, I'll get to all those helmet thanks here real quick. Let me get the confetti rolling. This is Willow Queen, Samantha Burkett. We've got Linda Gardner, Blessed Garden, Dream Maker, Lord Midnight. TLS Journey, Heather Harper, Mama Bear, Miss Helene, Revy Black, Tony Spark, Ann Bracker, Taylor Dactyl, Norn, is it Nonim or Nonern? It's hard to read that. Nonern92, Mama Silver, Elizabeth Bailey, Cerulean Queen, Don Sullivan, Jen Nom 3, Candy Thunder, Hunter Girl, Shadow, Runesia FRP, Gen X Brass, RJHJ1, Jarby76, Caroline Forrester, Katso64, Kez, Michael Reynolds, Batslu, B-Dubs, and Twinkie Life. Thank you guys so much. Actually, this will be an arbitrary one here, just to have something up. This is not one we're actually chasing. It's just one to have temporarily off there. Okay, so which one is going to be the helmet one? Wait, okay. So am I reading a story without a helmet on? Gotcha. Got it. Okay, and this is 6, right? It's so hard to keep track of. It's all over the place. Oh, Miss Helene, where's the partying reference? Was there a partying reference in that story that I missed?
Read 7.
7? Okay. All right. Diving in. This is the final story of the public live. We will be doing the sub only after this. And again, Tony Spark is jumping in to give feedback with the Astronaut helmet on after I read this story for you. It is a follower submission, OP. If you are in the chat and want to claim this, you have that ability. We'd love to chat with you about it. This is, am I the Astronaut for setting boundaries with my sister-in-law? My sister-in-law, 32, recently married a man that no one in the family gets along with. We'll stop right there. He admitted to cheating on sister-in-law while they dated and specifically told her that he didn't want to marry her. This is going well. In our religious culture, 31, the age she was when she married, is quite old to be single, and understandably, she wanted marriage and a family very much. My husband and I supported that decision and even stopped her siblings and parents from trying to talk them out of the marriage at the ceremony. Since their marriage, things have been rocky to say the least. He's very controlling, manipulative, and doesn't see any issues in his actions. She has left him 3 times, that I know of. When I found out, I asked very candidly if she felt safe with him. Word got back to him that I asked, and he blew up. It was a lot like watching a toddler throw a tantrum. Neither my husband nor I could get a word in. He called me some nasty names and told me that I'm a classic woman who believes all men are bad. Whatever that means. It was all my fault. They asked us to stop contacting them, and we went on with our lives. However, a month later, although no apologies were made and nothing was resolved, she was acting like it didn't happen. At their 1-year anniversary, they announced their intention to divorce, and she moved in with her dad, my father-in-law. She was pregnant, and I made a baby blanket for her. I brought it with me to a family dinner event, and we had a great talk. 2 weeks after their announcement, she was back with him. We were reluctantly happy for her, and still very wary of him. He's not welcome in any of the 4 siblings' homes, father-in-law's or mother-in-law's homes. That's how difficult he can be. So when my 8-year-old son had a big event coming up, my husband told her that she was welcome, but he was not. She sent my husband, mother-in-law, and I a text saying that we were persecuting her husband and that we are, once again, not welcome in their lives. That was 2, almost 3 months ago. Here's where I might be the asshole. Yesterday was her baby shower. I was invited by the host, another sister-in-law, but I told her that I wasn't comfortable going. She insisted, and I left it at that. I ended up falling asleep with my baby for 2 hours. I woke up to a text from pregnant sister-in-law saying, "I missed you at the baby shower." I replied back that the last time I had heard from her, she didn't want me in her life. Her response back was that she had spoken with my husband, and it was all good. Except that I'm not my husband. I have my own feelings, and that she sent both of us that breakup text. When I asked my husband about it, he said that the only resolve that was made between him and her was that she had mentioned, almost in passing, that she regretted the way things were left. I told her that I wasn't ready to have her in my life again or go on as if what she said to me wasn't hurtful. My main concern is that I have young children. She acts this way with them as well, and it's very confusing for them. Of course, she was upset and told me she didn't need me in her life. Am I the asshole for setting that boundary?
All right, Tony Spark, come on over and tell us what you think about this story, man.
since we hit 700,000.
700,000? You guys are awesome. I don't know where that voice came from either. You're awesome. Here it is.
Oh.
Here it is.
All right, first off, I have a big ass head, so I don't even know if this. Actually, I do know it'll fit because I tried it on in the store when I bought it. Because I was like, if it'll fit me, it's gonna fit Dusty. So God bless him. Man. Oh, maybe not. Ow. Oh.
Yes!
I love it.
Wow. I would say thank you guys, but I don't know if I should be thanking you for this. But yeah, thank you.
All right, so what do you think about the story?
Man, I think that the sister-in-law is very unhappy in her relationship, and I think she takes it out on other people. And I don't think that OP is the asshole on this one because it sounds like the sister or sister-in-law, right? Sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of issues there, and sister-in-law, it's almost like she tries to gaslight her into being like, oh, like, what are you talking about? Like, everything's fine. Like, I talked to your husband and everything. Well, you didn't talk to me, and so I don't think you can base that. Like, I don't know.
So here's what it feels like a little bit to me. And I'm just well, people need to keep staring at you.
No, I don't think so.
I'll stay off camera and say this part, but it feels a little bit like those moments where she tries to make amends, or like when she's coming up for air. It's like when she's coming up from air from a very controlling relationship, and this could be, I mean, not a cry for help, but it sounds like the person that she's with is the problem. She's allowing herself to be controlled, and that's when shit goes sideways. Those moments where she tries to break away and comes up for air is when she's like, I'm sorry, I need you guys in my life. I feel like she actually uses her own voice during that time. Yeah. All the other times she's being controlled by someone.
Yep.
Which is garbage, and that doesn't make that sister it does make her an asshole to everybody that she's doing that to. There's no way that they can't feel that way, but there's a reason. And I think that context, feeling like she's being very tightly controlled here, could explain it all.
Vicky, I lost a bet in a way. I set a goal, and because everybody in this chat is so awesome, we hit the goal. So, which is the second time now you guys have run me out of goals, and so I had to set another one, and then we hit that, and then you guys are just great. You're crushing it. And keeping me on my toes, too. So we got to, what, 700,000?
Yeah, we're at 726 now.
Nice. And, yeah, so my goal is eventually to get to 1 million likes. I just want to get to 1 million likes one day. So we're just going to jump it up a little bit at a time. And you guys keep crushing it every time. So I don't see why we can't. And this thing's hot. So
yeah, it is.
We're also, I mean, the viewers are dropping now that I'm sitting here with the helmet on. So I'm going to let Dusty get back on here.
They know it's the end of the stream. That's all.
No, it's me in the helmet. The helmet's no good.
Tony is awesome. Yeah, lots of Tony emotes and lightning bolts for that. Thank you for stepping up doing that. Oh, I forgot. I didn't tilt the camera back up, so I'll squat down a little bit here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. In that story, I feel like that sister is in an abusive relationship and probably does need help, but doesn't know it, doesn't know how to communicate it. So those times when she is like, no, everything's fine, I love you guys, I want you to be in my life, that's her coming up for air and her speaking with her own voice instead of being controlled. She's got to find a way to get away. But in the process of her allowing herself to be controlled, maybe not allowing herself, in the process of her being controlled, she is coming off as the asshole to everybody else. So she's got to find a way to stop doing that, or someone in her life has to step up and pull her out of this situation, which sucks. So that's rough. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. This was an amazing stream. You guys crushed it all over the place. Every goal that we had, even the new ones that we created, crushed the overall likes goals. You are amazing. Amazeballs. We're going to flip over and start setting up for the sub only live. It'll take about 5 to 10 minutes for us to set that up. Then you will get a notification that live is happening and you can jump into it there. So we will see you shortly. Katie Lady says, so do you feel like OP is not the asshole for setting the boundary to not have her in her life? I should have addressed this. I'm focused on the sister who is in the potentially abusive relationship, highly potentially. OP for creating the boundary, not the asshole at all. Because the first order is for her to protect her own family. And I feel like if there's volatility that could potentially negatively affect your family, especially with kids involved, you're not the asshole at all for creating that boundary. But I'm also looking at the why is this happening? And that's something we've been talking about a lot more is you can always look at the surface problems and say yes or no, but also we need to think about why. And that is an important thing here. And I think there's a potential long-term solution by getting her out of that. 750K likes. You all are amazing. All right, we're going to go ahead and set up for that sub-only live, and we'll see you here in just a few. Thank you again so much for hanging out with us today. 10 minutes. 10-ish minutes. 10-ish minutes, they're telling me. Okay. 10-ish minutes. We'll see you in 10-ish minutes. And we'll have the Wheel of Thunder. We'll have the Wheel of Thunder ready for you. All right, we'll see you in just a few here. Thanks again, guys. You all are awesome. You're amazing. It's so amazing. So much.